Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching from. This is Ty Talk Sports here, and welcome to the first edition of Hot Take Tuesday, even though this video will not be hosted on a Tuesday. We've had some delays here, but this is a Hot Take Tuesday. This is a series where it is all about you guys. It is all about you watching. It is literally your takes. I've been asking for some hot takes for quite a while now. Obviously, I haven't had a big enough of a following to get enough takes yet, so I asked a lot of close personal friends for their takes for this week's episode. But this will probably be a week-to-week series where I just ask you guys for your hottest takes, and we'll sit down and we'll discuss them briefly, and we'll just see if I agree or disagree with it. So, as I said, I got about 5 takes that we're gonna cover this episode from some close friends. So we'll start it off with the first one right now. So starting off with our first take, we have that from Kobe, that the Celtics should trade Jayson Tatum and build around Jaylen Brown. Now, the Celtics they've been a confusing team these past few years. They're always in the mix, they're always in talks, but they can never seem to get the job done, especially this year. As of the time I'm filming this right now, they are 28-25, and they sit at 9th at a very tightly packed Eastern Conference. They're only 5.5 games out of first, so anything can change in the next few weeks. But let's throw up Jaylen Brown stats with and without Jayson Tatum. They're on the screen right now. So obviously, Jaylen Brown's numbers are much stronger whenever it compares to him playing without Tatum versus the way he plays with Tatum. But the Celtics will throw up the stat on screen. They've only won 2 games. Now, granted, they've only played 4 without Tatum, so they're 50-50. So that isn't terrible, but the Celtics, I feel like that. Then this is more about my opinion as well. This isn't going to be based off really facts or anything. So this is your opinions and my opinions. So when I look at the Celtics, you look at the stars they have, Brown and Tatum. Those are the guys that you want to build around. They're 2 all-stars who could lead the way to a title with the right surrounding cast, and that's the problem that the Celtics have. They don't have the right supporting cast. They need a third piece who will get it done. Robert Williams is their center, who has been thriving this year. I think he's a great young piece for that team. But I think what the Celtics need, they need to go after a true point guard. As a Spurs fan, I I hate to say this, but their perfect fit would be to go after a guy like DeJounte Murray, or a good guy that I don't think he'll be giving up is Tyrese Maxey. Those are guys I think that could fit on this Celtics roster and just play a true point guard role, and that's what the Celtics really need. I think they need a guy who can control the offense and run it fluently. It just doesn't work well with Smart, Pritchard, and Schroeder. So I think I'm gonna have to disagree with this take from Kobe, and I think that the Celtics just need to keep both of the guys and build around them and see if they can win a championship. But that's how I feel about this one. So on to the next one. Now, for this next take, this one comes from Jarek. This one is that Damian Lillard is better than Russell Westbrook all time if you take away the accolades. So, obviously, the only accolade Dame has, apart from all first team, second team, is Rookie of the Year. Westbrook, an MVP. Obviously, that's what stands out whenever you think of Westbrook. He's all-time triple-double leader. So, there's not many accolades to be looked at here for these guys. So, we got a nice little whiteboard right here. I know you guys can't really see it that well, so I'll just go ahead and read it out for you guys. This is Dame versus Westbrook skill-wise, all-time. So, shooting, Dame. Rebounding, Westbrook. Playmaking, Westbrook. Finishing, Westbrook. Defense, Westbrook. IQ, Westbrook. Clutch, Dame. The only thing that Damian Lillard has really been better at all-time than Westbrook is shooting. That's what he's known for. Him and Curry really changed the game when it came to 30-footers, 28-footers. Those are the 2 guys. When you think of deep range shooting, you think of those guys. Obviously, when you think of triple doubles, you think of Westbrook. Westbrook had one of the most historic seasons of all time. There's a reason why everyone praises him for the historical things that he's done, because it's nothing we hadn't seen that since Oscar Robertson and Wilt Chamberlain. Westbrook was doing something that we'll probably never see for quite some time. So when you look at these 2 all time, as I said, I think the only thing that's better that Dame has done better than Westbrook is his shooting. I think that that's really the only thing he's been better at. And I'm going to have to disagree with this take. I just think that there's not many accolades to be looked at here. Yes, the MVP and the Rookie of the Year. Dame really hasn't done much, and Westbrook will be known for that MVP season for the rest of history. But, I mean, it's the stats-wise, it's there. I mean, we can go take a look back at all the highlights of all time, and you just... I think I take all-time Westbrook over all-time Lillard. And so that's why I disagree with this hot take. So my next two come from Devin. His first one is that Ja Morant this year has been better than Luka, Booker, and Jayson Tatum. So there's two ways I'm going to answer this. I think that value-wise, no, he's not been better. As the value he brings to his team, I say no. I also do not think skill-wise he's better than all of the other guys, but I still think that this year he has been better than all of them. The Grizzlies are 36-18, so I mean this team is winning games. So let's throw everyone that I just mentioned stats on the screen. We got Luka, JT, Booker, and Ja. They're all on the screen right now. You can compare and contrast, look at the numbers, and just go by that and you can tell me who's better based off that. But let's look at each team. You take away Ja Morant from the Grizzlies, and we did take away Ja Morant for quite some time from the Grizzlies this year. They went like 11-2 in the span he was out. So let's take away Luka away from the Magic. Let's take him away, Mavericks. Let's take him away from the Mavericks. And they're not a great team. I mean, Brunson steps up, Porzingis steps up, but they're not. I mean, Luka's the most vital part of their offense. You take him away, and the flow really gets out of rhythm. Let's take away Booker. You still got CP3. You still got Ayton. You still got Bridges. They're still a good team. Booker was out for a few games as well. And let's take away Tatum. And we talked about earlier how you take away Tatum, and Jaylen Brown steps up, but that Celtics team still kind of really falls apart. So I still think that Ja Morant has been better than all those guys this year. Ja Morant is having one of the craziest seasons we've seen in a minute. He leads the NBA in points in the paint at 16, and he's 6'3". You know, that'd sound like something that Rudy Gobert or Nikola Jokic would do. But no, Ja Morant is leading the NBA in points per game. He's an athletic freak. I mean, he tried to kill Mitchell Robinson on live TV just a few hours ago. It was insane. Let's throw the picture up. The picture's on screen now. But Ja Morant is putting up not just amazing numbers this year, but what he's doing to this Memphis Grizzlies team is insane. And I really think that they can make a deep playoff push. I mean, they're the 3 seed right now. I think they can go to the Western Conference Finals, maybe even have a shot at the NBA Finals this year. I mean, the Grizzlies are good. They have a really solid roster around them. Ja Morant is now a first-time All-Star starter. So I agree. I agree with this take. I think that Ja Morant has been better than Booker, Luka, and Jayson Tatum this year. As I said, the next one also comes from my boy Devin, as he says Draymond Green is more valuable to the Warriors than Steph Curry. Now, this is a hot take, but I'm going to start off by saying I agree with it. I think that Draymond Green is the vital part of this Warriors offense and defense. I mean, he's the vital part of this team. He does it all on both ends of the floor, defense and offense. He brings the ball up. He's a playmaker. He gets dirty work done underneath the basket. He rebounds. Like, he is so vital when it comes to that offensive end. He fights. I mean, he can spread the floor. You know, he's not the best shooter, but he'll get one every now and then. And he'll put up points in the paint. Like, he's a beast down low. And then on defense, he's arguably the best all-around defender in the NBA, and interior and perimeter. He'll lock up the 1 through 5 outside on the wings by the three-point line. He'll lock up someone in the paint, and he'll lock up someone underneath the basket. Draymond Green does so much for the Warriors team, and it's not even in the stat sheet. His scoring numbers, Curry's gonna get the scoring. Clay's gonna get the scoring. Poole and Wiggins, they have guys who can score the ball. They don't need Draymond to score the ball. Draymond does everything else that the Warriors need him to do, and that's why he's such a vital part. This is why he should be an all-star. Draymond Green is the Swiss Army knife and is a guy every team should want on their roster. I mean, the things I do to see Draymond Green in a Spurs jersey, I would kill to have that, man. Draymond is so valuable, and it's not just in like he doesn't need to score to be good and to help win games. Like Draymond is a perfect example of you don't need to score to be valuable to your team. So yes, I agree with this take. My fifth and final take comes from my boy Steve, and he says that the LeBron is having one of the best seasons of his career, but cannot win games as people praise him to do so. Do not come at me. Come at Steve, because he's the one who has the take. So, and honestly, I'm going to disagree with this. I think if we're going to look at MVPs and we're going to talk about actual value to a team, LeBron would have like 8 MVPs. If we're looking at actual value to a team and not numbers, LeBron would have so many MVPs because you need him. You need him. You take away LeBron from the 2018 Cavs, and they're just going to be a mess, man. Like, and you take away LeBron from this Lakers team. I mean, even with LeBron, they're a mess. But you take him away, and it's just ugly out there. Like, at least LeBron is keeping this team afloat. I mean, there's still time to turn the season around. And the Lakers are really a problem. I mean, they don't know what's going on. They're not who we thought they'd be. I mean, and honestly, me and Steve talked about it before the season. Whenever we looked at the guys on the roster, Westbrook, AD, and LeBron, those are 3 guys who want the ball in their hands 50 or more percent of the time each on their own squad. So you put them all together, there's not enough ball to go around. There's not enough shots to be taken. So it's interesting. It's interesting to see what the Lakers are trying to do here, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Westbrook get traded in the next few weeks before the trade deadline. I wouldn't and give more touches to LeBron, give more to AD, and let like guys like Malik Monk, who's on a veteran minimum, but who is balling for this Lakers team. So I think that LeBron is the most valuable part of this Lakers team, and you need him to win games. So I'm going to disagree with this take. I think that the only reason they've been afloat for quite some time, for just been able to stay afloat, is because of the way LeBron James has been playing basketball. So I disagree with this take, Steve. And that is the first Hot Take Tuesday video, even though it's not posted on a Tuesday, wrapped up for you. Like I said, this will be about a week-to-week series where it's just from you guys. So after you're watching this video, if you have any NBA or NFL hot takes, please drop them in the comments. I'd love to read your takes. I'd love to write them down and discuss them. I feel like every hot take that I get will probably be used. Maybe not in the next video, but at some point down the line. I mean, I'm going to make more of these, so I'd love to use every hot take I get if I can. So if you have a take that you think is worthy, please drop it in the comments and I'll discuss it sometime soon. I'm going to probably be putting out the part 2 of my Spurs rebuild sooner than later. I wouldn't be surprised to see that coming out soon. We have All-Star reserves are going to be announced. They're probably announced by the time this video is out, so we'll talk about those. And we got Super Bowl predictions. That'll be coming up soon. So we got lots of content coming on the way. And we got the trade deadline coming up soon. There's lots of new stuff on the way, guys. So make sure you drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss any of the content I'm going to be putting out. Thank you so much for watching. Until then, this is Ty Talk Sports signing off. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.